So we're going to begin Lesson 5 with the Introduction to Rhetorical Listening. So for this next unit, we're going to move from writing about our own experiences to writing to understand the experiences of others. And in order to do this, we are going to engage what we call rhetorical listening. So it's helpful to start this conversation about rhetorical listening by thinking about the challenges that we face when we seek to understand. Scholar I.A. Richards argues that rhetoric is a study of misunderstanding and its remedies. This view suggests that communication is difficult, and because we're limited to our words to convey complex thoughts, emotions, and desires, we're all prone to stumble around and grope a bit in the dark. So, to overcome these misunderstandings, one remedy suggested by Wayne Booth, another famous rhetorical scholar, is that we engage in rhetorical listening. Rhetorical listening means that we aim to do more than to just win an argument. Instead, rhetorical listening is about listening to understand, comprehend, or in the Platonic sense, strive for truth with a capital T. We can't grow as students and scholars if we only listen to voices that agree with us or to people who have similar backgrounds. Krista Radcliffe expands on this idea of rhetorical listening to describe it as a stance of openness that a person may choose to assume. So, to engage in rhetorical listening, you might consider probing for common ground. But you must consider also your own motives as well as those of others. She writes, understanding means more than simply listening for a speaker or writer's intent, or for your own self-interested intent. Instead, understanding means listening to discourse not for intent, but with intent. So it is important as curious scholars that we engage in rhetorical listening and rhetorical reading to move toward a better understanding of others' viewpoints. Dr. Radcliffe explains that when engaging in rhetorical listening, agreement is not always or necessarily the goal. We often disagree with each other. However, rhetorical listening means that we recognize others' points of view as different and work toward understanding, if not agreement. So for this next assignment, you are going to engage in rhetorical listening. You will reflect on an essay from This I Believe, volumes 1 or 2, and engage in rhetorical listening to understand more about others' experiences and the sociological, political, economic, and historical circumstances that shape those experiences. Specifically, this assignment invites you to assume a stance of openness to others' experiences and to understand the larger context that shapes those experiences. So, in order to complete this assignment, you are going to select an essay from This I Believe, research, reflect, and explore the sociological, political, economic, and historical circumstances that shape the writer's experiences, and write a rhetorical listening essay that seeks to understand the writer's beliefs considering those circumstances. In your assignment, you'll be sure to reference the essay from your This I Believe text. So this assignment is about 1,000 words or about 4 pages long. And in order to help get us started, these are the activities this week that we're going to do. We're going to read from the preface from the Hub, Strategies for Success, Reading in Academic Contexts, and Writing in First Year Composition. We're also going to read English 1301 Rhetorical Listening, and from This I Believe, Volume 2, with the focus on what we owe each other, we'll read several essays. You'll also want to complete the reading for Lesson 5 on time management. You'll want to complete the Canvas conference and the INRW content page and assignments assessment. And then finally, there's a discussion forum that you'll complete about rhetorical listening.